This tribute is going to come in the form of a prayer, so if you will pray with me. Father God, in the name of Jesus Christ, we come in prayer because you said that men ought to always pray and not to faint. Therefore, we come up lifting up this country, this county, and this city as it relates to the senseless death of Charlie Kirk. We lift up his wife, his 2 children, and finally we pray for unity and peace that only comes from knowing Jesus Christ. And it is his name that we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much. Okay, now we'll call the meeting to order. Tuesday, September 16th, 2025 at 9 a.m. And we'll ask for the invocation from Ms. Janet Blair, Brenham Presbyterian Church.
Y'all can feel doubly prayed for this morning.
Thank you.
Holy God, you are the creator of all, the giver of all of life. And so all that is good and right in this community, in this county, come from your hand. And we are grateful. So help us go about the work that you have given us to do this day on behalf of the people of this community, on behalf of the land that you have given us, to care for it all with the best of our abilities, joining together our hearts and our minds, the wisdom you have given each of us, and give us the grace and the patience to hear from one another opposing views, and yet to always know that we all have the goodness of this community in our hearts, that we will care for its future as we honor its past, that we will care for long-term residents as we care for those who are newcomers in the community. Bless all of the commissioners and all those who work for this community with your grace and your goodness and your peace. We pray in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen. Let's pledge allegiance to the United States flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And the Texas flag.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Okay. Item number 3, discussion and possible action on the approval of proclamation proclaiming September 17th through September 23rd as Constitution Week in Washington County. Proclamation in recognition of 2025 Washington County Constitution Week. Whereas our founding fathers, in order to secure the blessings of liberty for themselves and their posterity, did ordain and establish a Constitution for the United States of America. And whereas it is the greatest importance that all citizens fully understand the provisions and principles contained in the Constitution in order to support, preserve, and defend it against all enemies. And whereas celebrating the anniversary of the signing of the Constitution provides an opportunity for all Americans to realize the achievements of the framers of the Constitution and the rights, privileges, and responsibilities it affords. And whereas the independence guaranteed to American citizens, whether by birth or naturalization, should be celebrated during Constitution Week, September 17th through 23rd, as designated by the proclamation of the President of the United States of America in accordance with Public Law 915. Therefore, it be resolved that the Commissioners Court of Washington County does hereby proclaim September 17th through September 23rd, 2025 as Constitution Week in Washington County and ask our citizens to reflect during the week on the many benefits of our federal Constitution and American citizenship, and to join in ceremonies and activities commemorating Constitution Week. Passed and approved. Oops. Do we have a motion? Do this first,
Oh.
please.
I make a motion to approve the proclamation proclaiming September 17th through September 23rd as Constitution Week in Washington County.
I'll second that.
Motion been made and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All is approved. Passed and approved the 16th day of September 2025. Now, Miss Sally, come forward, please. Yes, would you introduce those two with you, please?
I'm Sally Inley with the Chapel Hill chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution. Janice, please, Connie. Janice is our current regent, which means chapter president. Connie is the current treasurer. And Beck, you came in.
Yes.
Brenda, our past regent. And we greatly appreciate the commissioners because we are a counting group. And your acknowledgement of the fact that this is Constitution Week is very important to us. Thank you so much.
Glad to be on.
Thank you.
I was trying to get
Here's
there.
the-
Yeah, y'all have to stand up back
You can
there.
stand in front of
Of
me.
course, I can stand in front of any of them, so. Thank you, John.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you.
Thank you.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
for doing this.
Thank you.
Take-
Appreciate it.
Thank you for doing this.
It's a job I enjoy.
Yeah, it's okay, but thank you, Bud.
Thank you. Nice to see you. I know. John, it's good to see you.
It's good to see you.
Chair, take care of everything.
I'm sure you tried.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
We'll disappear and let someone else sit down.
Well, thank y'all for coming.
I think it's appropriate at this time in our country that we're talking about the Constitution in a time when freedom of speech became something that became under attack. I think that we, as a nation, need to understand that we're going to have differing views, but we are the United States of America, and that makes us united. The flag, the Constitution, it unites us. And I think that there have been other folks in our past history who have been assassinated because of their speech. We cannot and we should not, at any part, any person, condone it or make light of it in any way. I think that this is a time we should all come together and say we oppose anyone who is willing to assassinate a person because they have the willingness and the courage to speak their mind. I appreciate everything that these ladies have done to bring this proclamation to us. It is something that we should constantly do every year, and it should not be something that we take lightly. So thank you so much to those ladies for keeping this in the forefront, and especially at a time like this, because we all mourn when freedom is under attack, especially the freedom of speech. So thank you so much.
Well said, Commissioner.
What's that? Thank you. Any other discussion? Okay, moving along. Item number 4, discussion and possible action of the approval of pending Washington County Expo rental regulations contracts. This morning we have one of those for a Valentine dance.
I make a motion to approve the pending Washington County Expo rental and regulation contracts and give the county judge the authority to sign them.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Item number 5, discussion and possible action upon the approval of revised memorandum of understanding between Faith Mission and Washington County for emergency services. Commissioners, what this is insertion of the third paragraph. If you look at that. The amendment to the memorandum of understanding is to add the statement, to avoid duplication of services, maximize resources and manpower of all external disaster agencies, will coordinate with Faith Mission for service delivery in Washington County, i.e. Red Cross, FEMA, Catholic Charities, etc. That is the amendment to the original memorandum of understanding.
I didn't see any problems with this. It's basically housekeeping, and we appreciate all that Faith Mission does for Washington County and the residents here. So in times of disaster, you guys, Mr. Young, you guys are always, Mr. Randy, y'all are always willing to help us, and we always appreciate it. So thank you so much for what you guys do.
If I might
Mr. Young?
speak very briefly, we want to express our appreciation for the confidence that you put in us. This is not a power grab at all. We operate for you through Mr. Rumpke, and he calls the shots, and we coordinate with him. But based on our experience, our past experience, we found out that we feel like there needs to be a clarification for outsiders coming in and just setting up their own things, doing their own things, and many times comes in conflict with the plans that have already been put into place. So that's all this is about, just clarification.
And better coordination.
The coordination, yes, that's it.
I make a motion to approve the revised memorandum of understanding between Faith Mission and Washington County for Emergency Services.
I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Item number 6, discussion and possible action to approve $26,000 in hotel occupancy tax funds for a Washington on the Brazos billboard.
So commissioners, in budget, we had this discussion, and after budget, I met with Miss Cindy and discussed the court's desire to move forward with this purchase. Of course, that was in a budget workshop, so we were all in a discussion in an open court meeting about what we needed and what their request was. She then decided to send a letter. I told her she needed to send a letter to the court requesting these funds. That's what she's done. We all know that this is for the Washington on the Brazos event that's going to take place this year. They have been remodeling that. We all, the court got an opportunity to go see some of that. It's really nice what they've done at Washington on the Brazos. So we appreciate all they're doing, and this billboard is to help advertise for that event. Is there any?
I don't have any questions.
I make a motion to approve the $26,000 in hotel occupancy tax funds for the Washington on the Brazos billboard.
I'll second.
Motion been made and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Item number 7, discussion and possible action on the approval of the hire of the county jail maintenance supervisor for the pay rate exceeding the 6% allowable amount in accordance with county policy. Ms. Conco?
We all the way in the front today.
Good morning, Commissioners. How are y'all?
Good.
Doing good this morning. Also, I'm bringing this item to you guys. Sent you guys a little bit of information about this one. This is an individual that is currently employed with us as a work crew supervisor, being promoted into maintenance supervisor, probably more appropriate for this individual with the history of his employment. So the individual comes with 27 years of experience from Houston Fire Department, conducting some of that repairs and maintenance to their facilities there while he was employed, and then bringing that expertise over to Washington County. He does have a little bit of experience with Washington County. He currently serves as our Sheriff's Office chaplain, and did work for corrections for about 4 years in the past. And Sheriff, do you have anything to add?
No, the position is vital for the Washington County Sheriff's Office, and to bring somebody in with Mr. Button's experience will only make our operations run more efficiently and more smoothly.
Any questions, Judge, Commissioners?
Is he going to remain the chaplain?
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect.
Great. I will say that you did offer an additional chaplain, should our chaplain ever need a chaplain, so. There is that support also.
All right.
I make a motion to approve the hire of the county jail maintenance supervisor for the pay rate exceeding the 6% allowable amount in accordance with county policy.
I'll second that.
Motion been made and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 8, discussion and possible action on approval of revised Washington County mass gathering permit application. Mr. Remke.
Morning, Judge, Commissioners.
Morning.
This is an item that should have been on here sooner, but it kind of fell to the wayside with some other things that were going on. But so I was asked to revise this. I got a committee together. We talked about it. It went through the county attorney's office, been approved by them. It's a much shorter form now, asked for a lot less documents. Instead of 22 pages, it's 8 pages now. So here for y'all's approval, and we'll put it into action if y'all approve it.
Commissioners, I just want to give you a little bit of history. When this started, we had some events that were in Washington County that we did not realize that would require a permit of this nature. And there was a committee at that point assigned to do that. They looked at all of the things and created the document that Mr. Rumke just referenced. The county attorney's office at that time was involved as well, just like in this time. So I will tell you that I think this slimmer version is something that the constituents as well as our employees will
And we did
benefit
have
from.
public safety representatives on that committee, so this was all fully vetted through that committee as well at the time.
And I'll review of this on 8 pages, and it's still very, very adequate, covers all the bases,
It does.
very much so.
It basically has everything that the other one has in it without a lot of the extra verbiage and stuff and the requirements to turn it in. They're still required to have that stuff or produce it if we want it, but they don't have to turn in
A huge.
a binder full of paperwork.
Correct.
Well, it's helpful to have the links to the statute
Yeah.
in the
Right.
document.
That way if it changes, then
Mhm.
we don't have to change the document each time.
Yes.
Good job.
Thank you for doing that. Thank you for that work.
I make a motion to approve the revised Washington County mass gathering permit
I'll
application.
second.
Motion been made and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Remke.
you.
Item number 9, discussion and possible action on the approval of an offer of land dedication from Robert Jensen for the public purpose of public safety access along State Highway 105, Precinct 1.
Commissioners, you are aware of, we were made aware of this in budget. Mr. Jensen has been gracious to award the county this land. There has been conversations with TxDOT to make certain that the amount of property donated to the county would allow for an entrance. This property is, if for the public's edification, it is for the hangar out in Old Washington. Currently, the driveway that the county accesses is the Volunteer Fire Department's driveway, and this will allow for the county to have their own access to Highway 105. It is a gracious gift. Mr. Jensen, if you remember, is the same landowner who donated the land for the hangar itself. So we really appreciate him. He's been very good to work with and
Very much so.
very, very beneficial to the county to have this gift. So are there any questions about Mr. Jensen's gift to the county?
No, just glad it's here.
Yeah. Well, I make a motion to approve an offer of land dedication from Robert Jensen for the public purpose of public safety access along State Highway 105 in Precinct 1.
Second.
Since the deed was not included in here, please amend your motion to authorize the county judge to sign the deed when it is ready.
Okay. The deed is in our packet.
There are just a few things that I've talked to Wesley about. We're gonna just tweak it a little bit, include some land description, mark the exhibits and things like that. Otherwise, it's in great shape, it's excellent. Those are just some things that I'd like
It's just not
added just
complete.
to make it a little bit, just absolutely no question where the land is and
Okay.
how much it is and all
It
that.
just needs tweaking.
So I'll amend the motion to include any needed corrections based upon the county attorney's evaluation of the deed.
But it's in good shape. Wesley did a great job, and so just a few little minor things.
Okay.
Authorize the judge to sign.
And authorize the judge to sign the deed once it's been
There you
reevaluated.
go. Okay. Motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
You got that, Nick?
I'll listen back.
Item number 10, discussion and possible action with approval of the purchase of Intech Apex Court Solutions software for use by the Justices of the Peace Courts, designating Intech Apex Court Solutions as a sole source vendor and allow the county judge to sign any necessary documents.
Judge.
Mr. Riddle, Judge Riddle.
Morning.
Good morning.
Several weeks ago, we came in and demoed this software for you. We have spent, Judge Cohn and I have spent the last 2 years almost researching, talking to different courts, courts that use this system, courts that use other systems to find the best software program that's going to work for us. We have met with the sheriff's office, all 4 constables' offices, the county attorney's office, everybody that would be impacted by this software to get their buy-in and get their questions answered, have had great meetings with everybody involved. Everybody is in agreement that this software can reduce the workload for all of the agencies involved in this. So we have come today to ask you to approve this software. We're in the process, we need to get started on the conversion process in order to have a January 1st start date. So we're trying to get those things in order. Intech has been very good to work with, very responsive. We have met with DPS. I drove to Austin with John Rich, met with the major at DPS, talked to him because he had heard about this software and what it could do, was very interested. He in turn put us in touch with the captain over DPS IT. We've had a conference call, video conference call with him. They had tremendous ideas about ways to even improve the system over what we shared with you before. To the point that we're looking at now, can there be a pilot program in Washington County because DPS is interested in making some changes that will put this out. The interfaces that are involved, I know were one of the questions that came up before. The only interface that's really involved in Washington County is going to be between Intech and CIS. CIS has told both John Rich at Intech and Washington County IT that they can and are willing to write those APIs and interface those two. The rest of the interfaces are all with the Office of Court Administration, the state bail system, DPS, and all of those interfaces are already in place. The Office of Court Administration and the bail system started those interfaces about 1.5 years ago. They're already there. In fact, in the last legislative session, the legislature said, OCA, Office of Court Administration, you will make this available to every county and municipal jail in the state of Texas so that they can have those interfaces. So those are already in place. So everything is in place now with the state. And we're working on some new things that have come up recently and meeting with DPS that are going to make it, we believe, bigger and better. So we're asking for Commissioners Court to approve this software so that we can start the process of the data conversion and getting ready for a January 1st start date.
So I thought we already approved the software in budget, so I did not know that we needed to bring it back.
Well, we approved it for next year.
Yeah, for next year.
for next year, yeah. So, yeah, I just.
This way they can start on
This is the only question I have. You have LGS currently?
Yes.
And the data conversion that's in item number 11, that number includes both the interface with CIS and the data conversion? And you've met with all those people?
Can I go ahead?
No.
Sure.
No,
I'm sorry,
I don't know what item number 11 is.
Item number 11 is the bill.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
number 11 is the one.
It's the money.
cost.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So on our side of the coin, we put that in there as a part of the service. So you change softwares next year from CIS to ABC, it's a part of the service. We're not charging you extra for any of those interfaces. Those interfaces are in there and will.
Understand the interfaces. I'm asking about the conversion from LGS to your software.
Yes,
The
that's. in
data
there.
conversion.
The data conversion.
That $15,000 is gonna cover the entire conversion.
Yes,
And you know that for a fact.
yes, sir.
Data conversion, Microsoft Azure.
I don't have a problem approving the
Well,
software because I believe we've already approved it.
Let's go through item number 10 first then. Discussion and possible action upon the approval of purchase of Intech Apex Court Solutions, software for the use by the Justice of the Peace, designating Intech Apex Court Solutions as a sole source vendor and allow the county judge to sign any necessary documents. Is there a motion?
I do have a question. So when y'all were going through this process, I know y'all were going to, just for due diligence sake, evaluate some others. So can you tell me what others you have evaluated since we met this summer?
We've looked at Tyler, we've looked at NetData, we've looked at LGS. LGS came back, I believe, and shared with IT that they cannot do what this system can do. Tyler has had 2 demos scheduled that have both been canceled. NetData isn't even on the map.
Let's hope not.
So those are, and this is going to judge training and sitting down and talking to judges from around the state. And that, what system do you use? Do you like it? Do you not like it? And we've done that. In fact, I'll share something with you. We talked about ticket writers. The ticket writers, I believe, are in the contract. It's $5,000 for the sheriff's office and $10,000 for the constables. That's $2,500 for each constable office because they're all separate entities. Austin County went to Tyler Technologies for their jail management system, their report management system, and their CAD system. Everything was wonderful. We'd get you ticket writers. So I called Austin County last week and said, hey, did y'all ever get your ticket writers? And they said, yes. I said, tell me about it. He said it cost us $4,275 per ticket writer, $1,200 a year per ticket writer for licensing. And we bought 5 of them. They're sitting in the patrol room in a cradle because they don't work. So you're talking about 5 of them at $4,200 a piece, $20,000 worth of ticket writers, and all they got was 5. This system for $15,000 gets you ticket writers for every deputy in the county. So that's the difference in the system. That's the kind of stuff, I looked at it, Commissioner, from a user standpoint. I've got to work in this system. And so, and I promised everybody that was involved, I would not change systems and make my life easier at your expense.
And it's not so much his life, it's our life too. And I just went to a class and asked every clerk I sat at the table with, and Tyler was a no-go. Don't waste your time, don't waste your money. And there were several who used this system, and this is what was suggested. I'm like, great, because that's what we're looking at.
So that's, like I said, from a user standpoint, Constable Holly and I were talking this morning and just about little things. We live in a world of technology. I'm an old gray-headed guy, but I started with the Houston Police Department handwriting offense reports with carbon paper. That's how, so I go way back. Went through all of the change of computers and entering data into computers and then getting computers in cars. So I've been through all of those changes. We live in a world today where there's so many things that can be automated that have to happen. when I sign an order, there are certain things that have to happen with that order. With this system and working with John and Heidi, we've been able to see where we can set things up in the system when we get it set up, that when I sign that order, the things that need to happen will automatically happen. Emails will be automatically sent. When I do an emergency protective order at the jail, that email or that emergency protective order and TCIC data will automatically go to dispatch to be entered in TCIC. I don't have to have somebody fax it over to them, hey, did you get it, did you not get it, I only got half a sheet on this page. So those kinds of things are the things that we're looking at that just make life easier and more streamlined, more effective, more efficient. And it literally is hours of work that this software has the potential to reduce.
Right.
Yeah, we had those
We-
discussions in budget.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
We understand the software.
Okay, let's go.
A question?
All 4 JP offices, constables, everybody's on board and ready to move.
As I've talked to everybody and they've all said yes, so.
Okay, good deal.
Are they happy campers? Not necessarily, because data conversion is
Sure.
it's an animal. But yes, from my understanding is everybody's on the same page.
Good. I like the fact that we're gonna get something that everybody's gonna be using the same thing and all in the same boat together, so
Yeah.
that's good. Thank you for that.
The only
And-
question I have is, when is the sheriff's department transferring over to the new software?
What software is it?
What?
CLS.
That's dispatch.
Oh, that's
It'd be-
dispatch, yeah.
I think they said March.
March.
Oh, you don't see that.
Yeah,
That's
it's
only
not-
for dispatch,
the
that's
CAD.
not for the.
It's the CAD.
It's the CAD system.
Every law enforcement system, they're gonna all use the CAD.
And
That's the issue, because
CIS
we're
is
not
going to
going
also
to.
be their jail management system as well. isn't
Yes.
it?
Yes,
And-
it'll
and
be their
report management, yeah.
JMS
Okay.
and.
So it's JMS, RMS, and
JMS,
CAD.
RMS, CAD, yeah.
So the piece of the puzzle that Judge was talking about there with DPS, right now, with the sheriff's department, the interface will be with the jail with arrest reports and feed to the judges to do their magistrations, et cetera, et cetera. There's no county in the state of Texas that has it where the DPS can do that. And the DPS, when we met with the DPS, the major, and then the captain in charge of IT, they're like, we're gonna open up this portal. So that part of it is a CIS interface on our side that we're gonna be doing, so that they'll be also interfacing directly in with them. It's gonna be a pilot and it's gonna be Washington County, and it's, to me, very exciting, because that's.
I think the reason the judge is asking the question is because of this. We're not going to do data conversion with the current CAD and then do it again with CIS
In March, yeah.
in March.
Right.
So what the judge is asking, I believe, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, is how soon will I be able to use this software?
Right.
Because it's not gonna be in January.
Yeah.
Because CIS is not going to.
Commissioner Majewski and I talked about that as well.
So-
To me, and I'm just gonna tell you as a taxpayer, not a judge, I wouldn't be real fired up about paying money to do the data interfaces with Zerker, knowing that Zerker's on the way out.
Right.
We can live with it and work with it. The system will work outside of Zerker, am I correct? I mean, outside of those those data interfaces, until we get CIS in place. And then once CIS comes into place, we should be able to be ahead of the game, so that when CIS hits the ground, all of the interfaces are there and everything is.
Maybe another perspective to look at it is, when you're building a house, you don't put the windows in until what? The foundation's built. From now till January, we're building the foundation, which is JP Court's all working. Once that foundation is there, we can do anything. But when I say anything, the interface to CIS, the interface to all those different pieces of the puzzle, the first piece is getting that foundation built.
Well, I would suggest having IT involved in this from the very beginning, because they're going to be the ones that are going to get the phone calls.
Yep.
And so they're going to be the ones that need to know what this system does and how it works.
Be glad to
And they
work
need to be involved.
My first
entire
email to
part.
IT was in January. So
Understood.
we've reached out to IT on
Understood.
multiple occasions to get them involved in this.
But now the rubber's meeting the road, Judge, and I'm going
Right.
to tell you right now, now's the data conversion. And this is gonna be a bigger issue than you think. He makes it sound easy.
No,
It's not easy.
I've been
I
through
went,
it.
I
Been
went
through
through
it.
the data conversion in Austin County with the jail. the
Miss Holly's
courts,
been
the-
through it. It's not fun,
everything,
is
so.
It's-
And I
it's
was
not
the guy
fun.
in charge, so I got all the phone calls. So I understand data conversion.
And I Commissioner, I don't mean to make it sound easy. We've been through it, gray hair, less hair. But we do it, and we do it in a very organized, systematic way to get the data in there properly. One thing about data conversion is, if you've got trashy data in, you don't want to convert trashy data into the new system, because what that just gets you trashy data in the new system. So we also have an interface in the middle that puts it into, if you recall, I talked about data standards. We've got to make sure that data meets data standards, and we do that as a part of the conversion. It's a long process. I mean, we've already just started doing, we have every single traffic ticket issued by Highway Patrol already in the system for Washington County since its inception in 2010 when they first started doing it. So we have that already in there as a basis. Now that gives you valuable names, stuff like that, but now we bring in the other pieces of the data, but we have that already in there as a foundation.
I make a motion to approve the purchase of the Intech Apex Court Solution software for use by Justice of the Peace Courts, designating Intech Apex Court Solutions as a sole source vendor and allow the county judge to sign any necessary documents.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Item number 11, discussion and possible action upon the approval to authorize payment of the one-time cost associated with the purchase of Intech Apex Solution software from the Justice Court Technology Fund.
So what I wanna know is this is all the costs.
Yes.
We're not gonna come back and say that there was an undue, unexplained expense in conversion, none of that stuff.
We don't
Right.
operate that way. I
Okay.
guarantee you that.
This morning, if I might add, Mr. Rich sent over the contract first thing, and this sheet is attached to the contract. It's been sent
Okay, so
over
it'll be
to
exhibit
the county attorney's office just this morning. We just got it, so, she's gotta have time to review it, but just for your information, this is the same cost that's in that contract.
So without review of the contract, should we be paying the money before we review a contract?
We're not gonna pay them, they haven't sent a bill or anything, we
Or
just
we're
needed.
authorizing payment?
No, we're authorizing payment to the JP Technology Fund, correct?
From the JP Technology Fund. It's
Without a contract?
Signed.
Right. But
Are you
we
comfortable
don't
with that?
have, we can table it, it's fine.
No, you're not?
Not exactly. I'd also like IT to look at the contract, because there are probably
Okay.
things in there that I may not be as familiar with as they are, so I'd like to give them some time to look at it too.
I think what we're saying is that our JP Technology Fund, that does not cost the taxpayers any money. We'll pay for some of the startup costs of our JP software.
Understood.
Once the contract's approved and signed by both, totally, yeah, we would never send.
Intech's not gonna start working on data conversion until there's a contract signed, so they're not gonna invoice it.
I know, but this
So-
is asking to authorize payment prior to executing the contract.
Oh,
And that's what we're saying. We have to execute the contract and then we can approve
Totally agree.
payment.
Yeah.
So I think we should table, I make a motion to table, agenda item 11.
Could I ask one question? Will we need to, so that we don't waste more of your time, do we need to come back at that time and get approval to take it from the JP Technology? That's where,
We'll put this same item,
Well,
if we're gonna
this
table
same-
it,
if
this
we're
same
gonna
item's
table it.
gonna come back, but it's gonna come back with the contract.
We have to
Exactly.
approve the
Right.
contract.
And we'll approve that contract, we'll approve this amount.
Yeah.
gotcha. So
Is how we'd have to
won't
do it.
need to come back as the JP courts and say, hey,
You do
can you
not.
take it out of there?
Look, you've been before this
No, we won't
court
take your
a
money.
lot. You guys have,
You guys have been here and you've explained yourself
So,
very well,
yeah.
Judge, and all the research and everything y'all did for this. It's appreciated the way you've gone about your business, and we appreciate you coming this way. It's just a little bump in the road here. We just need to have a contract that we can approve before we can go forward.
Understood.
I just put it on because I wanted to make sure that that was an option for them. I understand there's not a contract signed, and it was not my intention to bring it and pay for it before we had a signed contract.
We knew that.
But they do need to know if that is gonna be allowed funding for this, and that's where my thoughts were on this agenda item, so my apologies.
That's okay.
Oh, it's not a big issue.
Well, it's good now that everything's ironed out. All we're waiting for is the contract, and then we can
Correct.
flow through the rest of it easily.
Okay, we have to, back up a second. You made a motion to table. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Item has been tabled. Item number 12, discussion and possible action on approval of purchase of an ambulance module from Fraser Limited utilizing the HGAC cooperative contract number AM 10-23.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yes, this is just the approval for the purchase of the second module for the 2025 year. It's Fraser Ambulance. This is going to this was going to match the exact one that we purchased here several months ago.
This was approved in the 2025 budget, correct?
Correct. Yes, sir.
That is correct.
I make a motion to authorize payment. I make a motion to approve the purchase of an ambulance module from Fraser Ltd. utilizing HGAC cooperative contract number AM 1023.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Carries. Item number 13, discussion and possible action upon the approval authorizing the county clerk's office to advertise a request for qualification for construction manager at risk services for the Washington County Expo Master Plan projects. Ms. Birch, good morning.
Morning, Judge, Commissioners. Morning. This is in relation to the Washington County Expo projects. We're going to give a really thorough update on those projects very soon, hoping for next week. But what we do know is as soon as we give that update and we start talking about projects, the very first question is going to be, how much does it cost? So we have some ideas about that, but what we'd like to do is talk through a strategy to get a construction manager at risk on board for these projects so that we can bring them in early and we can start kind of putting these puzzle pieces together. So to be clear, we're talking about any projects that come out of the master plan. So that's both east and west side of Old Independence Road. What we've presented to this court in the past, and I think is very much out there, is those projects consist of a covered rodeo arena, some infrastructure, drainage, electrical, utility upgrades. That's a whole category of its own. And then small repairs and some larger additions and renovations we're studying on the existing buildings at the fairgrounds for the expo. It's Fair Week, so I'm my head's on fairgrounds right now, but this refers to all the expo projects in that master plan. So I want to walk through your options in terms of construction teams, and I want to take a little time on this just so you guys can think of any questions that come up. So there's really three methods to engage a contractor on projects. Historically, I'm going to say pre-1990s, most projects were just hard bid construction projects. So the architect finishes the drawings, they put them out to public bid, specifically if it's public money, and you hire the person with the lowest bid. So, there's pros to that, it's good competition, but there was a lack of transparency regarding firms' experience or even bonding capacity, whether they actually had the capacity to do those projects. So a process called competitive sealed proposal, we often call it CSP, came about around that time, which is basically kind of the same process. Architect completes the drawings, they put them out to bid, but contractors turn in their qualifications alongside their bid. And a committee ranks the contractors based on both their qualifications and their bids. That's a really good solution, and it's still a great method for very simple or smaller scale projects. Local examples, that's the method we used on the Washington County Engineering and Development Services building several years back, and also recently on the ATS building. So both of those are either I would consider straightforward or smaller projects. The pros are good competition. It's less risky when it comes to quality control because you do have a sense for those qualifications and references. But what's missing in that piece for more complicated programs of work, so when I say program, it just means multiple projects, multiple initiatives in the same group or site, is the ability to get insight early on about costing. And that's a really big deal over at the Expo because there's a lot going on. And I'm not on the agenda today to talk about that. We're going to talk about it very soon. But the categories I just mentioned, the covered rodeo arena, drainage and utilities, and then repairs and maintenance to existing buildings. It's a lot. There's a phasing element and a sequencing element for you guys to take advantage of mobilization. So CMAR, or construction manager at risk, oftentimes also called construction manager or construction management. It's a different process. It came about in the 90s. To my knowledge, Washington County has not utilized that process, certainly not in the last 10 years. Could have been before my time, but it's something that's very commonly used. Blaine College uses it regularly, Brazos County, and many counties around here use it. So what happens in that process is the architect gets the drawings to about 25%, to a schematic concept level. And then the owner, in this case the county, publishes criteria for how you would choose that firm. And you issue out kind of the status of those drawings. The owner ranks the firms, and the firms give their fees. So a percentage fee in this case, right? So you rank them, and then you oftentimes interview them, which is always recommended. And then they are hired really at the beginning of design. So the benefits there is they can start to tell you, hey, if you do this in this order, or if you sequence these things together, or hey, if you bid something as an alternate, you can get best value. This is really important for programs of work. And certainly the Expo projects are a program of work on both sides of the road. So importantly, the county would, so we're asking today to advertise for that, okay? So there would be an RFP, which would tell the contractors exactly what they need to turn in. We're asking for permission to advertise that so we can get that ball rolling. Importantly, you will advertise, you will interview and select, and then you will enter into what's called a pre-construction agreement with that firm. So because drawings are not finished, you are not entering into a construction contract at that time. Okay, so you're gonna hire them for pre-construction services. That's estimating, sequencing, means and methods, deciding how the schedule could work for county events, all of those things, but you're not signing a construction contract because there are not completed drawings. Then, once the drawings are finished, and of course you get budgets along the way, once those drawings are finished, then the CMAR puts that project out to bid publicly. So they have to do all the same things that you would have to do. They advertise that publicly, they accept subcontractor bids, and the owner is present at the time those bids are open. It's an open bid process for the owner. And you're gonna get a little bit of say in, best value on each of those trades. So in a project like this, and I'm gonna leave time for questions because I know it can be kind of complicated, but in a project like this, there are so many opportunities for multiple small businesses to do part of the work. Maybe they can't be on their covered rodeo arena, but they could participate on another renovation or utility upgrade. So that's also a benefit to this method, and it is very common. So an example locally was Leroy Dreyer. We did some upgrades to the stadium several years back. That was a method that was used. Yeah, so that's kind of a broad overview. This is what we're recommending for the Expo, and we just want to advertise, start that process, because it does take a little while.
I'm so ready to get this going.
I know, Commissioner. I know you are.
So the question I have is, so the RFQ for this project will come at a later date? or you are going to draw up that RFQ? to be-
So so technically, and technically it's an RFP in this case
RFP.
because we are asking, proposal indicates fees.
Okay.
We are gonna go ahead and ask for their percentage fees to be
Okay.
presented with their qualifications. Technically, it's an RFP, and I have submitted that to, county for review.
Okay.
We're gonna we would ideally try to get that document out after we meet and talk about the update, so that if there's any little changes or anything we need to do to those concept drawings, we can add those drawings to the RFP, so that they'll get a visual of what we're trying to do.
How are their fees determined? How are they, don't give us that step.
Right, so, when we issue that RFP, there will be a form where they will say, what percentage are you going to charge to manage this process from start to finish? And then there will also be a blank that says, what will you charge for pre-construction? Because, you're gonna wanna compensate them for that interim period. But if you were to say, a year from now or 6 months, we're not doing any of these projects, you owe them that pre-construction fee, and that's it.
Is it a request for qualifications or a request for production?
Actually, it's proposal, I'm sorry. And I did provide that agenda item, so that's on me. It should say, request for proposal.
So if we could maybe just make an amendment if you should choose to approve this.
This is the question I have. So the request for proposals, okay, that document, we don't have to approve that document after the county attorney reviews it? Is that what you're saying?
It could
Well-
go either way. If you want to approve it, we can certainly put it on the agenda, get it approved, and then.
I guess what I'm asking is,
We
if
certainly
we
could,
approve
yeah.
this, if we approve this today, we're approving what you come up with for request for proposal. Is that correct?
So what the county, I have put together a document and we've shared it with county clerk, county attorney, county auditor. If you'd rather put the document after that's completely edited, we could do that. And it's either way. But yeah, I think it could go either way.
Well, I'm just asking because I want to make sure that we're doing it properly.
Right.
I don't want us to.
And are we 100% on the RFP over the RFQ? Because isn't that considered professional services?
So
Construction manager,
we
or
are
is it-
100% on that. An RFQ indicates that you,
Just qualifications.
right, it's just qualifications, and you would ask for their fees later. We're recommending we go ahead and ask for their
Ask for
fees
an
up front.
RFP.
At a minimum, we'd need to amend that item to say request for proposal. But what we could do is, bring that document alongside next week's,
I think that would be
update?
good so that the court
So you
can
can
see the
review it?
document.
Okay.
I would like to see the document before,
Okay.
me personally.
Sure, yeah.
I think I have it in an email, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I did.
But it's not on the
because-
packet.
But it's not, for
Right.
the rest of the court does not have it because they're not on the project.
Right.
So I think that once that document is fine-tuned and finalized, I think we then should review it.
Sure. Are we, can I ask, are y'all generally in agreement on the process to move forward with? Because I did not really want to use a lot of time reviewing that document if maybe you wanted to go
mean for the
another
CMR?
route. Yeah.
Extra route, yeah.
Are y'all generally acceptable to the CMAR method on this project?
Yes.
I think it would be highly beneficial
It
in
would
this
be,
project.
yeah.
But like I said, I think that we would like to review those documents.
Okay, yeah, we'll bring them back.
As a court.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank y'all for that feedback.
Thank
So-
you for the
so-
education.
So can we approve this to advertise? Or should we just bring it back?
I would approve this to say that you want to move forward with this method, this construction manager at risk, and then after you've reviewed the document, then you can authorize the advertising of it.
I make a motion to approve the construction manager at risk services for Washington County Expo Master Plan projects and authorize the county clerk's office to advertise the request for proposals after a review of those requests for proposals.
Second.
Is that okay?
Sure.
I just wanna make sure I'm doing it right. I don't do it wrong. Don't get me in jail. I don't do
Around
well.
Rosebush, but we
I'll
got
go to
there.
jail.
Okay.
She was so, sure.
Sure.
I think you said it correctly.
Just for the sake of clarification, we'll move forward, review that document, and then we'll bring it back to the court just for the court's final approval, and then that's when they can actually start advertising after the final approval. So you'll see one more agenda item on it.
Yes.
Thank y'all. Appreciate it.
Okay, we have a motion.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Item number 14, discuss a formal notice from PGMS for a water line extension within the county right-of-way of Fisher Road and Roberts Road, Precinct 3. Mr. Stoltz.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
We do have a few public notices for utility installations. Precinct 3 is the target today. So,
Yes, it is.
so the first of what we're going to talk about today is going to be on Fisher and Roberts. This is going to be approximately 1.5 miles, with the majority actually going to be on TxDOT. That's actually what we're not talking about today. We're only talking about Roberts and Fisher. But we're looking at approximately 4,400 feet to be installed. What the objective here is going to be connecting two separate lines. So there's two dead ends in that area. The first of which ends at Fisher and Somerville Terrace, which was extended a little while back for water quality issues for some well in the area. This is actually what you're seeing here. And what they're actually going to be looking to do is they're actually going to tie that all the way back over to 1948, which is going to be the right side of your screen. What this does is whenever you have a termination point, you have water quality issues, you have pressure issues that are not being sustained. It's always better to loop a system just for water quality as well as pressure in the area. We have met with PGMS on site. We've discussed these areas, the bore crossings, any culvert, as well as the creek crossing itself. This is all going to be through directional bore, which is going to be very minimal impact to any driveways in the area, so they're just going to go right underneath them, so there's not going to be open cut, there's not going to be repair, they're just going straight underneath. The bore itself, this is going to be 3-inch carrier pipe for the potable water, and the bore is going to be in a 6-inch casing. So that's all going to be directional drill with a 6-inch casing on these. With that said, they do meet all of the county requirements for installation. We've met with them on site to address any minor localized issues, and we are ready to move forward.
Okay. Is there any discussion of this item?
No, sir.
Item number 15, discuss a formal notice from PGMS for a water line extension within the county right-of-way of Beaver Road and Rayburg Road, Precinct 3.
This is actually going to be a very similar situation. They're going to be looping this system from the dead end over off of Rayburg Road, and it's going to continue down Beaver and tie back into where it dead ends at Hack. The majority of this installation is going to be on Beaver Road. We've walked this with PGMS as well. There's a couple low areas, not necessarily creek crossings, but pretty deep installations for drainage. Once again, they're going to be directional boring those. We are going to be crossing 7 driveways with this one. We've looked at both sides of the roadway. The other side would require 12, as well as an additional roadway bore on top of that. So we are going to have 2 bores that are going to be crossed on this one. One's on Old Landaway at Rayburg, and the other one is actually Rayburg to get on the north side. This also does help with possible extension for future services as well. Gideon Linscomb, the residents over there have been discussing the possibility of getting potable water from PGMS. This will bring at least a reduced cost if there is an extension down there for future service. So, but once again, the primary benefit from this side is going to be water quality as well as pressure stabilization to the area.
Okay, any further discussion of this item? Item number 16, discuss a formal notice from ET Gathering and Processing LLC for natural gas pipeline bore within the county right-of-way, Rayburg Road, Precinct 3.
Yeah, so this is going to be the final notice for public installation. This is going to be a bore across the roadway from ET Gathering and Processing LLC. This is a 10-inch steel natural gas pipeline that's going to be crossing at approximately 5301 Rayburg Road. just to the west side of that one. I think you can kind of see their driveway right there. This is approximately 3/4 of a mile west of the Rayburg Road intersection, with Long Point Road, excuse me. Let's see here. So they have submitted their Barlow calculations, which all that really is the thickness of the pipe. There's a factor of safety that goes in there anytime you have a crossing of existing infrastructure. One of our requirements in our manual is that they have to exceed that by another level of factor of safety. Whenever we've reviewed their Barlow calculations for steel thickness, they have met those requirements for increased factor of safety in the event there's any kind of issues in those areas. This does not include a bore, right? Or I'm sorry, not a bore. This is obviously going to be bored. This does not include a casing. My apologies. I didn't want to alert you. No, this does not include a casing, and that's where they have to meet that higher level factor of safety.
Please.
You're not gonna straight cut.
Yeah, we're not open cutting the road. Let me just stop that right there. We're not open cutting any road. It's board, no casing. Yeah.
So this water line on Rayburg Road and this pipeline, they're pretty close to each other, correct?
There is a water line, and that's in the area. Yes.
The one that you just showed us is in that area. So
it's further to so that one is actually going to be not where this one's going to be.
Yeah.
This one's west of Long Point. That one's going to be east.
Okay.
That said, there is a water line in the area that they're going to have to bore underneath.
Okay, any further discussion of item 16? Moving along, item 17, discussion and possible action upon the approval to purchase two 2026 Freightliner SD114 trucks and one CPS belly dump trailer from Lone Star Truck Group for the Engineering Development Services Department through State Cooperative Purchasing Program, TIPS, and Sourcewell contract number 221001 and number 032824 DAI.
Sorry, it's pretty long-winded
Thank you.
item. Apologize, but it's all necessary. So we discussed this in budget. The two trucks that we're actually looking to replace is unit number 123 and 125. 123 is a 2005 model, international with 650,000 miles on it. It does have some damage to it, and that's one of those ones that we talked about that the cost associated with getting it back up and running is to the point where we're not getting our money back. At this point, the rate of return for repairing it is just to the point where we need to look for a replacement. So that's that one. 125 is also has some issues with it as well. It's a 2009 with 598,000 miles. Excuse me, 598,000 miles on it. So based on our discussion during budget, this is actually a reduction from what we were expecting. I know there's been a lot of conversations over the last year and a half over tariffs, and of course they bring that to us as well. But we do want to act on this quickly so that there is no possibility of increases going into the next year, any possible tariffs that could possibly come forward. That said, what this would be looking at is a 7.3% reduction from what was discussed in budget, or approximately $26,486. This would be working with Lone Star Truck Group. We've worked with them in the past on two in-dump trucks, and with that one in mind, they would be supplying Freightliners, and the chassis themselves would be SD114s.
yes, Commissioners, we discussed all of this in budget. We actually felt like we needed to do this sooner rather than later at that point. So these are items that we had already discussed. So, right, correct?
Absolutely, sir. And just one other point of clarity is that they did say that they would expect these in November or December if we were to move forward.
Quick delivery, good.
I will say that the one nice thing is over the last couple of years, fleet vehicles, equipment has been very scarce, very difficult to find. We are noticing that is starting to improve, and I think everyone can see that whenever you drive past dealerships. But that also is showing on the commercial as well as equipment side as well, that we're getting a little bit closer to a healthy number of vehicles and equipment available.
High interest rates cause more supply. People don't buy.
Correct.
I make a motion to approve the purchase of two 2026 Freightliner SD114 trucks and one CPS belly dump trailer from Lone Star Truck Group for the Engineering and Development Services Department through the State Cooperative Purchasing Program, TIPS, and Sourcewell. contract number 221001 and number 032824 DAI.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Item number 18, discussion and possible action upon the approval to purchase one used 2020 Case SV 212 add-foot roller from ASCO for the Engineering and Development Services Department. Mr. Stokes.
Yes, so this is another item that we discussed in budget. We are very happy to find that there is a much reduced from what we anticipated. As you can see from some of the quotes that we put together, because we wanted to get new and used, because hey, look, if we can find something new that we can get a great discount on, absolutely. But the new ones, they can range up to $150,000, $170,000. We actually found one that is actually very lightly used, 590 hours, from a local vendor, ASCO, which is just west of Brenham. And it's a 2020, and it's actually a larger horsepower as well as a larger drum as well. So we actually kind of think it's a pretty darn good deal. We did look into a budget of approximately $120,000. We are looking at this one at $76,271.20, which is a reduction from our budgeted request of $43,728, which is 36.4%. We have tested this particular piece of equipment, and our guys say, I'm going to try and quote them, it beats the hell out of the road. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for something to beat the hell out of the road. Excuse my language. We do recommend this particular piece of equipment.
That must have been the rental fleet, right?
Yes, sir.
For those few hours for that age.
I make a motion to approve the purchase of one used 2020 Case SV 212 pad-foot roller from ASCO for the Engineering and Development Services Department.
I'll second that.
Motion been made and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms.
Item number 19, presentation of Washington County Constable Precinct 1 August monthly report. Come on.
Judge, this is kind of a new agenda item that dropped on us. Normally, everything is all in one. And
Well-
so I because I had security for court today, I saw it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have seen it. And known it was even on here. So those are the numbers. Any questions?
Well, it inadvertently got left out of the constable's reports when normal. So anyway, we're glad you're here
Okay.
to present. Okay? It's,
Surprise.
And you'll see the special assignments, the last month and this month, we, seems like been the months of training.
Yeah,
So
okay.
we've been having legislative updates and a lot of things that's gonna be happening for next year. Fun stuff.
Well,
Of course it is.
and as always, we appreciate you being in court.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Item number 20, discussion and possible action on the Sheriff's Office August monthly report.
Morning, Judge, Commissioners,
Morning,
Good
Sheriff.
morning.
and everybody that's left. Yeah. So what we have today is the August 2025 monthly report for the Washington County Sheriff's Office. I'd like to say that we did have an extremely busy month of August. We'll go through some of those numbers and some of those comparisons in this report. On page 1, we see that our Group A offenses, we had a 56% clearance rate of 27 offenses, which was up from 20 the previous month, along with 8 arrests, which was 1 less than the previous month. On our Group B offenses, we had a 92% clearance rate of 111 offenses, which was up from 69, and 80 arrests, which was up from 52. Overall, we had an 85% clearance rate for July 2025 of 138 offenses, 117 cleared with 88 arrests. On our juvenile offenses, we had 2 juvenile offenses. Both were cleared with a 100% clearance rate on that. We go to page 2. On our jail division, Total number of inmates booked into jail increased from 114 to 149 last month. And our average daily population remained the same at 96.
That's actually good.
Yeah. We're currently holding 2 vacancies in our jail division. Second part of that page is our law enforcement division. We have 4 vacancies in our law enforcement division right now. Some of the comparative categories in the activity report include our assist calls, went from 47 to 60. Our false alarms remained about the same at 29 compared to 30 for the previous month. Our mental health transports increased from 3 to 5. Our welfare concerns went up from 59 to 78. Our motor vehicle crashes decreased from the previous month at 50 to 41. Our loose livestock calls also decreased from 62 to 57. Overall, our traffic enforcement increased. Citations went from 160 to 179. Our warnings went from 601 to 697 for the month. Our arrest warrants served also increased from 67 to 110. And overall, incident responses increased from 3,280 to 3,325 for the month. And our case reports that were filed with the prosecutors increased from 160 to 166. And we had 3 death investigations for the month. Page 3 is our City of Burton monthly activity report. Overall activity increased with 147 responses compared to 124 the previous month, which counts for 4.4% of our total calls. Our biggest changes were in foot patrols, traffic control, and information reports. So now we're going to get into our graphs. Page 4 is our crimes graph. What we see is an overall increase. Group B offenses at 111, which is the highest for the year so far on record. And our Group A offenses at 27, which is also the highest for the year. On page 5, which is our property crimes, we saw an overall increase. We had 7 thefts and 2 burglaries. Both of those, as you can see on the graphs there, are higher than any other month in the year. And page 6 is our traffic enforcement and our crashes. So we had 41 crashes during the month of August, down 9 from the previous month. So far this year, we're averaging 41.6 crashes per month. Our overall traffic enforcement, as you can see on the graph there, was higher than any other month as well. On page 7, our criminal arrests. Group A offense arrests was 1 less than the previous month at 8, and Group B offense arrests saw an increase of 28 arrests compared to the previous month. If we go to page 8, this is our breakdown in jail bookings by agency. You'll see that the Sheriff's Office booked in 88, Vernon PD booked in 53, and our other agencies booked in 8. As you can also tell from this graph, that was the highest for the year so far. Page 9 is our average daily population of our jail, remained the same at 96. Page 10 will break down our jail bookings by gender. Females, we booked in 34, it was up from 22. And males, we booked in 115, which was up from 92. And as you can also see on that chart, that's the largest month that we've had so far this year. And page 11 is our graph for the City of Burton. We're averaging 114.5 calls per month this year for the City of Burton. Do we have any questions?
No, sir. I just want to say thank you for allowing me to attend the jail conference. Quite interesting time there. I learned some things I didn't know about the jail. And I also got to spend time with Mr. Ballard and understand his philosophy and how he wants to run that jail. So I appreciate that opportunity.
It was a pleasure having you there, sir. Absolutely.
Thank you for all y'all are doing.
Sure thing.
Thank you.
And in closing, I would just like to say we did lose a officer this morning in San Jacinto County. It was a DPS trooper. Was responding to, stationed in Montgomery County, was responding to a call in San Jacinto County for assistance. His vehicle left the roadway, struck a tree, engulfed in flames.
Well, thank you for your reports.
All right, thank you.
Item number 21, discussion and possible action on approval of, I'll just get that minute. Discussion and possible action on the approval of accounts payable.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm here to present the numbers on the accounts payable for this week. Our total is $408,556.96. We did have one bill that I want to present to you. Is paid to the Volunteer Fire Department's pension fund for $24,156.
Thank you for calling attention to that. It was 24,000
$24,156.
Fire Department pension fund.
Sorry.
Volunteer Fire Department.
Volunteer Fire Department.
Okay.
That needs to be added to the bills.
No, it is in
It's
there.
in there.
It's in there,
Okay.
just calling
Okay.
attention to it. Thank you for that. Thank you for the report. Any questions about that?
Thank you for hanging around.
Yeah. Hope we didn't bore you too much.
No, it was interesting.
Okay.
I make a motion to approve accounts payable.
Second.
Motion been made. Second and third over here. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried. Okay, item 22.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion been made second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, we are adjourned.